he's done.
Yeah.
Maximus.
Maximus. Quintus. Free my men. Senator Gracchus is to be reinstated. There was a dream that was Rome. It shall be realized. These are the wishes of Marcus Aurelius.
Free the prisoners! Go!
Lucius is safe.
Go to them.
Help but be affected by it. I mean, and be overwhelmed and slightly intimidated.
I wouldn't cry.
This is Russell Crowe's movie. Did you feel that was the movie that was probably a highlight of his career? Because now he's being criticized. Les Miserables was people are talking.
But the thing I've seen Les Mis, and I think when he doesn't sing,
he's great.
He's great. He's great. You know, I mean, the character itself. You know, he's got such a high moral standards, and he stands by that. And it's just, you know, as an actor, he's so accessible. I mean, he does tap into something where you just totally believe him. You totally accept that he's that person. He's not a character. He's that person.
If I'm mistaken, after this, he did A Beautiful Mind.
After this,
yes. If I'm
that was in 2002.
Yeah, something.
I don't know. I don't know. No, he didn't. I think he did Beautiful Mind before.
Well,
I can't remember.
Well, I think he is indeed like the actor's actor. As
he is,
say.
yeah. He definitely broke a mold, because before that, you know, sort of 80s and 90s, you know, the leading sort of character had to be this tall, chiseled, kind of good-looking. You know, there was a certain look to the leading man, and he wasn't. You know, he totally broke that mold. You know, you can get the Tom Cruises and the Johnny Depps and Brad Pitt. You know, if they all came in like a box and you opened up the box of Tom Cruise, you'd okay, Tom Cruise is going to be running in the film. He's
always
going to be shouting. He's going to be smiling. You know, Al Pacino's box. He's also going to be shouting and being quite intense and probably you know, some woman involved somewhere along the line. But with Russell Crowe, you know, his box comes along and you open it up. I just don't think you ever quite know what you're going to find, and that kind of broke that's how I feel, broke the mold for other people to come and take lead roles when they weren't your typical sort of Hollywood look.
Getting into now Batman, I really want to get into this because it's every boy's dream. I mean, when you first went out there and you saw him dressed up in the
it's kind of like. It's kind of mad,
dude.
Yeah.
I wouldn't know what to say. I'd be like, "Hi, sir,
I was just like a little boy. I was like a little boy, and I had a friend next to me, and I was just like, "It's Batman."
Are you allowed to touch these things on the set? I mean, being part of the main crew, are you allowed to give a little nudge
to who?
The costumes. I mean, it's there. The cars. It's there.
I mean,
it's there. I mean, the chiseled.
Yeah. I'm going to be like, hey, dude. What's up?
Or pose right next to it, or even wear it.
No,
you can't.
No. I mean, Christian Bale, as you probably heard some of his stuff online. You know, he's
the meltdown.
He's quite intense. He's quite intense. But that's what Batman needs. You don't need this laid back character. You need someone quite intense, and he owns it. Absolutely owns it. I didn't spend a great deal of time around Christian Bale. I was a third AD, one of the additional third ADs on that. so my job on that was more sort of controlling crowd and positioning crowd and maybe cars, just coordinating and choreographing that. But he's great. He is great. But he's not the sort of bloke you go up and say, "Hey, did you see the game on Saturday? What do you think? What about that?"
Hey, buddy, how are you?
I
get it.
There's actually,
but he doesn't give that off. There's some people that give that off, and you can do that. But
Christian Bale never struck me as a person who could like, "Hey, man, how was the game?"
No, but he's an absolute professional.
He's pretty much raised in like that industry. Like, remember that movie Empire of the Sun?
Yeah.
He killed even in that.
But he did a great move. He disappeared for a long time and honed his skills, and then he came back as an adult and just knocked it out of the park.
True.
So everything that we've heard, how intense he is, that he yells sometimes at people.
I've never heard him yell.
No. So this could be.
Let's just take it as rumors, Ryan. Let's not.
I mean, there's
Christian Bale in here.
Opportunity. A lot of people talked about it.
But the thing is,
Christian Bale, if you're watching, we didn't.
No, but this for me, Christian Bale is always the American Psycho. Okay, he can be Batman, but he is for me American. I mean, in the starting, it's another movie, but that is how Christian Bale strikes me. I mean, the true epitome of Batman, dark, yet want to help. But there's a more important reason why you're actually in the country. There's a workshop that you are
I'm starting a filmmakers workshop. Basically, I'm going to see how it goes. I'm going to start one course. It's just a basic filmmakers course for any young filmmakers that want to come along and just feel like they want to do something and make something but don't quite know how to go about it. There's a lot more than just shooting in it with a camera. So this is a 3-day intense course. And it's teaching you, to take it from the script to the screen. So it'll break down the script. What elements is it broken into, and what do you actually need, and how do you facilitate to get each scene? And so that's going to be that. And then we're going to shoot, and then we're going to take it to the edit. So at the end of it, I'm hoping that whoever comes along feels like they're ready and can have enough information to be able to feel they can control. Because when you're a director, you've got people looking at you for the answers. I did a recent commercial here in Sri Lanka. There was 85 members of the crew. You can't afford to be second guessing stuff. Because you're like the captain. So. Is to give people the confidence, really, if they've got no experience whatsoever, just to be able to have the confidence to pick up a camera and, like Chandran said, pick up an iPhone, an iPad. You've even got iMovie to edit, and just get out there and just shoot. If it's rubbish, don't expect it to be good. That's one of my main things. Your first few projects, don't expect them to be good. Cut your teeth on it. Expect them to be completely rubbish, and if they are good and people think it's good, it's a bonus.
It's pretty much like any other, hobby or sport or whatever it is. If you keep doing it, the better you get at it.
Yeah,
is my take on it as well. But yeah, like how would I've actually had a small rumor about it. If anyone shows you a picture of a film, any screenshot of a film, you could tell what exact lights were used in this scene.
I don't know about exact lights, but I can kind of work out the lighting.
But still, that's an amazing skill set.
But when you've been on set with some of the best DOPs in the world, you kind of watch. Do you know what I mean?
Is that the ability taught or learned, or you just have literally an eye for it?
Well, I think the photography, with a photographer, you need to know about light. You need to understand about light. It's a two-dimensional thing. A photograph or a monitor. It's a two-dimensional item. So you've got to figure out a way of making it three-dimensional, and that's all about light and shadow. So if you can harness that, then you can make that image have depth, and that's what it's all about, really.
Now the viewers are just excited. How do they get into the workshop to learn all of these
there's a Facebook page. Am I allowed to mention the Facebook page? Yeah, it's the Colombo Film Project. I've got the Colombo Film Club that's already going, and that's a little bit more sort of discussing film, discussing techniques, that sort of thing.
So it's Colombo Film Project.
Film Club is just a club, and then anyone who wants to do a film course is the Colombo Film Project.
I'm pretty sure they picked it up.
I know what I'm doing this weekend.
No, we got your top 5 picks when it comes to movies. Interestingly, if we can just quickly go through them. Star Wars. What was so magical about?
I don't know. I mean, just watching the clip was just, I could feel my pulse just sort of rising. I just think, I was around in the 70s. I'm a 70s kid, so I don't know anyone who was born in that era that didn't want to be.
Before we move to the next movie, Star Wars, Star Trek.
What?
Choose. Which one's the better?
Oh, Star Wars every time.
That's fine, man. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
We just showed the poster to Some Like It. 1959, Marilyn Monroe and Jack Lemmon.
Brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah.
So there's no year. The movie is movie. And then we just show the
Alien.
The third one, which is 1979, Ridley Scott.
Yeah. Again, it's it goes from the dark to the comedy to the.
Speaking of Ridley's new film, the what was it? Prometheus.
Yeah.
I didn't know what was going on until
watch it again. Watch it again.
I watched it there. I watched it like 5 times.
That is the movie that a lot of people are saying. Is it a prequel? Is it not a prequel? Is it
it's
a
prequel?
When I read online,
they say it's a prequel.
Yeah.
They're making Prometheus 2. That's in concept. They're definitely going ahead with that.
Then we have as your second pick, Sam Mendes is Road to Perdition.
Yeah, that's kind of crept up and up and up and up. And every time I watch that film, I just find it, technically brilliant. I think the sets. Well, again, it's
another great cast in that as well.
Heavyweight, and I so miss Paul Newman, and I'm sure. He's probably my favorite actor of all time. Maybe I think.
So you mentioned about technical. Now your number one pick is Amadeus, which actually won a lot of awards.
I think I won 12 at the time.
From a Broadway play. Do you look at technical, or are you or is it the story that matters to you?
Oh, it's story. Yeah, you have to believe. I mean, you can get away with a bad set. You can get away with bad locations, a bad script. You can get away with everything, but you can't get away with a bad performance, and a story. You just can't. You just can't get away with it. It's a crime if you're a bad actor doing reading bad lines. So it is. It's story first. I mean, even to this day, when I watch a film, I don't think, that must use a jib arm and that must have come in from there, and next shot they're going to be going and doing there over the shoulder, and look at that extra. If I'm doing that, it normally means it's a rubbish film and I'm not connected to it, because I will naturally do that. But a good film, I just let it wash over me. Absolutely. Yeah.
I'm just excited.
All right. Now these what we've been speaking about was like big blockbuster hits and films, indie films. All right. If you look at all of them, I mean, most of them end with a girl twirling a hand in the wind and like all that. What is your take on indie films? Like that very.
Yeah, just before we officially ran out of time, indie films.
Indie films. Go. Well, look at the Coen brothers; they're all indie films. Fargo.
Normally, low-key indie films.
what kind of indie films are you talking about? What sort of budget are we talking about? Name a couple of films.
Moonrise Kingdom, which just came out.
Yeah, that's cool. That's cool. I like it. I like it.
So for you, the bottom line is the story. A story has to be told, because sadly, some of the visual things that we've been experiencing so far doesn't even carry a story.
Yeah.
So before we, there's so many questions still for Chris, but we officially ran out of time. So for those who want to get into the filmmaking industry, or just the knowledge that
or just ask questions. They want any questions about filmmaking or anything. Just
Why don't we just put his phone number on the TV screen and be like, hey,
Colombo Film Project on your Facebook. And we'll end with a song that's from the movie 2012, Adam Lambert, if I'm not mistaken. So we'll see you guys, and thank you, Chris, for coming. Jason,
You're welcome.
I'll see you also
pleasure.
soon.
Yeah, the great Chris Burgess.
Yes.
Great.
See you guys.
I didn't pay him to say that.